Okay, so today we're going to start chapter 5 and we're going to do one-step inequalities. So definition of an inequality is an open sentence that contains a greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to symbol. So it's an equation, but instead of an equal sign, it has these symbols. We're also going to be graphing the solutions on a number line, not on a coordinate grid, but a number line. So whenever we have a number line, let's say we have 0, 1, and negative 1, and you have the greater than and less than symbol, if it said it was x is greater than 1, that means we're going to be putting an open circle here and pointing towards the numbers that would be greater than 1. If we had x is less than or equal to 1, that little sign, less than or equal to symbol tells us that we're going to take that circle and we're going to fill it in and then draw our line, because that tells us that 1 is in the solution to the problem. So that's why it's going to be important that we make sure we're doing open and closed circles correctly. Also, now we're going to be using words to help describe. Less than or fewer than will describe that symbol. Greater than or more than. This one could be at most, no more than, less than, or equal to. And this one is at least, no less than, or greater than, or equal to. So we're going to be using some word problems in this chapter also. So for our first set of problems for today, we're going to be situating on step 1s, which are adding and subtracting. Okay, so we, once again, just like equations, want to get x on one side and all the other numbers and things to the other side. So here we have our x, and we want to get it alone. So we've got minus 12, and to get rid of minus 12, we're going to sort it to the other side. If we cross the line, we change the sign. So negative 12 becomes positive 12. Bring down the little 8 and the x. And then we're going to have x is greater than or equal to 12 plus 8 is 20. Okay, so now we have to graph it. Now I'm not expecting you to put 0 in the center of your number lines all the time, because we have numbers like 20 here. So you basically need 3 numbers on a number line. Put the number you have for your answer in the center, put 1 below it and 1 above it in the correct order. Okay, now we're going to look here at our symbol. It's got the line underneath, so that means it's going to be a closed circle. So we're going to go to the 20. We're going to make a line on it, and we're going to fill in the dot. And we're going to read it. X is greater than or equal to 20. Which of these numbers, 19 or 21, is greater than 20? You're going to point in that direction. So that is what your equation looks like, graphed and solved. Okay, let's try another one. This time we're solving for m. So who is on the same side with the m? The 19, so he's gonna cross over. So m's gonna come down. We're gonna have 56, and now positive 19 becomes minus 19. M is greater than, and you're gonna grab your calculator, and you're going to put in 56 minus 19, and you're going to get 37. Again, we don't want to have to put 0 in our number line here. So we're going to put 37 in the center. 1 bigger than 37 is 38. 1 smaller than 37 is 36. This symbol does not have the line underneath, so it's going to be an open circle. So we're going to have an open circle on a 37, and we're going to read it. M is greater than 37, so we're going to point to the number that is bigger than 37. And you would be finished with that one. Okay, I want you to take a couple minutes to try the next 4 problems, solve and graph. So you're going to pause me, and then when you've done that, you can unpause me and we'll check the work. Okay, so you should have done it. So we're gonna see how you guys did. I'm gonna work through these. We wanna solve for m. That means we're gonna have to get the 8 to the other side. So m's gonna drop down, and we're gonna have 22. Negative 8 crosses over and becomes positive, and we end up with m. And over here we've got 30. You're gonna draw your number line, again with 3 numbers, 30 in the middle. We have no line underneath it, so it's going to be an open circle, and we're gonna read it. 30 is bigger or greater than m. So that means the other numbers must be less than m. So we're gonna point that way. Okay? Here we're gonna solve for x. So this is gonna go to the other side. So x, drop your line, -1/3 plus 7/3. And you're gonna get x with your symbols. You're gonna put that in your calculator, and believe it or not, your answer is going to be 2. If you didn't know why, -1 plus 7/3, it's gonna give you 6/3, which reduces to 2. Okay, so we need to graph this. So 2, 3, 1. You're gonna look at your symbol. It's got the line underneath, so it's going to be a closed circle. And you're gonna read it again. X is greater than or equal to 2. So greater than 2 is 3. We're gonna go down to the next one. This time we're solving for P. 8's gonna go to the other side, so P. 18 comes down, take away 8. P is less than or equal to 10. And we're gonna do our graph right here. You can do a nice little sketch of a graph. Put 10 in the middle, 11 and 9. You should have a closed circle, so it should be colored in. And P is less than 10. So which number is less than 10 up here? Well, 9. Okay, in the last one, we're gonna throw in a decimal. We're solving for n. So this one's gonna cross over. So we're gonna have -2.5 plus 0.9. Okay, we're gonna grab our calculator and do that. So -2.5 plus 0.09 is I believe -1.6. Now we've got a couple different options for graphing this. Okay, I'm gonna list one on the top and one on the bottom. And you wanna be careful because it's the first time we're seeing a negative answer here. So you could put -1.6 here, and then this would be -1.5, and this would be -1.7, because you're getting closer to 0. Okay, or you could put -1.6, and then this would be -1, and this would be -2. Either way, you're gonna have an open circle, and -1.6 is greater or bigger than n. So what you need to ask yourself is which one of these numbers, either -1.7 or -1.5, or -2 and -1, which one of those is -1.6 is bigger than this number? So you need a small number to put on this side. Hopefully you remember, the farther you away from 0 on a negative sign, those are the tinier numbers. So you're gonna have to be really careful with your negatives. Okay. We're gonna go to page 2, and this time we're gonna look at some word problems. Okay. I'm not really worried about us solving these. What I wanna do is make sure that you can read them and turn them into an equation. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna pull out the important words and write an equation. Okay, remember, if you see things like a number, that doesn't mean you get to write your own number. That means that's your x. That's your unknown thing that we're hunting for. Okay, so our first problem says the sum of a number and 17 is no less than 26. So sum tells you that you're going to be adding something. What are you going to be adding? X and 17 is no less than 26. So we need to figure out what symbol is no less than. And here we've got 26. So your final problem should look like x plus 17 is no less than 26. Okay. Number 12, twice a number minus 4 is less than 3 times the number. Okay, so you got to know what twice means. Twice means 2 times. Well, 2 times what? A number. So we've got 2x minus 4 is less than. So we've got to find less than. Well, that's up here. So that's this one. 3 times a number. So that's 3x. So when we write this out, we're going to have 2x minus 4 less than 3x. Okay. Number 13, 12 is at most a number decreased by 7. So 12, at most, a number decreased in 7. So we know this is 12. A number we said is x, decreased is subtract, and here's our 7. So we need to find what does at most look like, okay? And if we come up here, at most is here. So when we take this down, that's what our equation should look like. And our last equation, 8 plus 4 times a number is greater than 5 times a number. So 8 plus 4 times a number greater than 5 times a number. And I'm going to do it under here. 8 plus 4 times a number is 4x. 5 times the number is 5x, and greater than, we have to come up and figure out which symbol is that, is this one. So that actually is your sentence. So for this part of the lesson tonight, you're going to have to make sure that you memorize which one of these phrases go with which symbols. Okay? All right. Page 3, we're going to look at how we solve a couple of these, and then you're going to be practicing some on your own. So right now we want to look at 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want you to pause the video and try to simplify each equation and then match it up with the graph that goes with the answer. When you get done, unpause it and we'll see how you did. Okay, so hopefully at this point you've had a chance to solve these. Let's see how we did on these. For this problem, we're trying to solve for x, so our 15 is going to move, and we're going to have minus 8 plus 15, our symbol in x. We're going to combine what we have on the other side over there. Negative 8 plus 15 is going to give us 7. Okay, so we're looking for a closed circle on the 7. So that's choice B. So number 1 is B. Okay. Number 2 is a little different. We did do this when we did equations. Remember, you want variables on one side and whole numbers on the other. So for this one, it's the 4 that's going to go to the other side. And you're going to have 3 is less than 5x, take away 4x. Which is going to end up being 3 is less than x. So we want a open circle on the 3. So that's going to be D. Okay. Problem 3 is very similar. We've got x's on both sides, so we want to move the 7 to the other side. We're going to have 8x, take away 7x is greater than or equal to negative 4. which is going to be x is greater than or equal to -4. So we need a closed circle on the -4, which is A. And then obviously your last one's going to be C, but I'm going to solve it with you anyway. 12 should move to the other side. -12 plus 9 would give you x is less than or equal to -3. So closed circle on the 3. Okay? And that is it for new material in today's lesson. Check and see what the homework is in the assignment. Thanks.